Are you ready?
Oh, I suppose. I don't know. Okay, we'll get together.
My name is Annie.
I'm Hannah.
My name's Alyssa.
My name is London.
My name's Alexander.
My name is Rihanna.
And I'm gay.
I don't really like to identify with a sexuality, but if I had to pick one, I would consider myself a bisexual, demisexual.
I think right now that I'm bisexual, but I'm really not sure at this point in my life.
I identify as bisexual.
I identify as transgender and male.
I am transgender and I identify as a straight woman.
Growing up, I never really had anyone tell me that there were gay people. I never knew that gay people even existed. All I knew was that, you know, a boy fell in love with a girl and a girl fell in love with a boy and they got married and they had kids and bam, that was life. So in 5th grade, you know, I started to realize that I wasn't like everyone else. I had different feelings than other people. And, you know, so I knew I was different. I had no idea how.
When I was in 7th and 8th grade, I had a huge crush on one of my female friends, but at the same time, I had a bunch of little crushes on boys all around. And that was kind of the first signs of that, well, basically that I wasn't straight completely. But it really took me until I was older and in the past few years to really understand what it all meant.
I first realized I was trans a couple of years ago when I just found the word online and realized that I also identified with it, and that's just it just kind of explained everything that's been going on in my life. But I first realized I was different, I guess, when I was a lot younger, and I started just doing and wearing more like masculine clothing and like playing with masculine toys.
It was mainly when I was in probably 2nd grade. I would always tell my mom and dad, "Mommy, Daddy, I'm a girl." There was nothing else like but that.
The people who I have come out to so far have been mostly really supportive, except for one person. One person told me that she hated me. She told me that my life was disgusting. She called me a pervert, a freak, a monster. A monster is the one she used the most. And what's even worse about that is that that person was me.
I would say the hardest part about being like not the norm or whatever is that I was worried about what my family would say and how they would feel about it.
I've never heard any hateful comments directed specifically at me. I have lived around a family who's extremely hateful toward the LGBT plus community. So growing up and hearing that sort of thing really made me feel insecure about who I was and about the way I felt, and that those feelings weren't real, they didn't exist, and if I just push them down long enough, they'll go away. But they don't go away, and it was hard coming out to that side of the family, but it's definitely worth it.
After my family member tried to change me with books, it really drove my self-confidence down.
One time I came out to a couple people and they didn't take it very well. And we had been talking about it for about an hour. And one of them asked me, you know, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? He wanted to know. And I just asked them, well, are you guys gonna come to my wedding in like 10 years? And this was the most random question that just popped into my head. And they couldn't answer it. They couldn't answer the question. But if I had to give them an answer, if I had to assume what their answer was, it would be no. We're not coming to your wedding. Not because we don't like crowds of people. Not because we're going to be busy in 10 years. Not because we don't have any money to go to your wedding. But because we don't love you enough to support you on your big day. And, you know, I could have so many people tell me that, you know, my sexuality is wrong and say names behind my back or spread rumors about me. But I think that having someone you love tell you that they can't accept you for who you are, or at least tolerate you on your wedding day, I think that that is the worst thing anyone has ever said to me.
Coming out is like walking into the sunlight for the first time. It's like seeing something amazing and just not being able to handle all of it at once, but you have to. It's overwhelming, but overall it's such an amazing thing. It's hard, but the aftermath is so much better than being in the closet. It's great.
I just want to tell all trans people that you shouldn't care about what other people think, and it's gonna be okay. And like, no matter how long the wait is for transitioning, no matter what kind of part you are at in your transition, either like starting hormones or just coming out, it goes a lot faster than you think, and it's all worth the wait.
Most people don't think being bisexual is a real thing. It's kind of a gray area between being straight and being gay, and so neither one of those sides really take us that seriously, even though it's a completely valid sexual orientation.
You have the ability to make your sexuality your own because it is your own. Just because there isn't a label that fits exactly where you are doesn't mean you don't exist.
It just feels really, honestly, it just feels really good to come out, and remember, there's always going to be positive reactions and there's always going to be negative reactions. I would pay attention more to the positive reactions and the negative reactions.
No matter what happens, someone will love you, and even if you have to find them, even if they're not your family or even your closest friends, you will find someone that loves you.